And now white can continue this game by capturing this pawn on e5, because after knight takes e5, white can go for bishop to g5, creating some pressure over this knight. And let's suppose if black pushed h6, trying to attack this bishop, but simply bishop takes f6, g takes f6, and bishop to h5, and you can see black has to lose his rook. But in the actual game, after the move e5, here Kasparov goes for knight to f5, attacking this pawn on d6, and queen to e6 might be the best option for black, guarding this d6 pawn. But instead, here Kramnik goes for and now it's better for white to capture this pawn on e5, attacking this knight. So that's why black will obviously go for knight takes e5, c takes d5, bishop takes d5, knight takes d5, rook takes d5, and exchanging the rooks will activate the black queen. So that's why it's better to go for bishop to d4, which also opens the e3 square for this knight if black goes for g6 in future. And by this you can see white will be better due to these strong bishop pairs. Okay, so in the actual game, after this move, here Kasparov blunders by knight to b5, and that's a blunder because now Kramnik finds the best move, queen to g6, pinning this knight, as well as black is also threatening to push this pawn to d4, which attacks this bishop. And now it's better for white to start pushing these kingside pawns, but instead he goes for knight to f5, preparing for knight to d6, but this is not a big threat, and now Kramnik instantly brings his knight to d5, creating a discover attack on this knight. And now here black can start pushing these pawns, but instead he made a mistake by knight to d5. And that's a mistake because now white will go for bishop to g4, which attacks this queen. And let's suppose if queen to f7, knight takes e4, bishop takes e5, f takes e5, knight to f4, attacking this knight. And if knight to f6 check, king to g7, queen to d4, attacking this knight again, knight takes g2, king to g1. And suddenly you can see here white is back in the game. But in the actual game, after knight to d5, here Kasparov missed that and he goes for and now it's important for white to go for queen to b6 so that he can target these pawns and start pushing his queenside pawns. But instead he goes for bishop to g4, which is a huge blunder. And now to win this game, black has to just find the move queen to f6, attacking this f4 pawn. And let's suppose if white pushed this pawn further, now comes c3. Okay, if bishop to d1, e3, queen takes e3, but simply queen to d6 check, queen to g3, and finally queen takes d1. And you can see now who is going to and now you can see this position is completely winning for black. But in the actual game, after bishop to g4, here Kramnik missed that and he goes for and now queen to c7. But guys, he must consider the move queen to e3 so that he can keep an eye over these pawns. And in this position, Garry Kasparov resigned because let's suppose if this game continues like queen to h7 check, simply king to g5, and you can see now there is no more further checks So let's suppose if he goes for g7, simply queen to g1 will be a checkmate. This is your host Bison signing off. Bye bye.